We are. We have both going. We got 50-50 that we're running, drawing daily or nightly here. And we also have one 50-50 that we're running the whole 10 days of the playoffs here. So the 50-50 for the daily are 1 for 5, 3 for 10, 10 for 20, or 50 for 50 like we always do. And then the one for the whole events are just one ticket for $5. That's the only option on that one. And then we do have that $3,400 Mickelson custom queue that we're doing 64 or 68 tickets at $50 a ticket on that one. So, Justin Beavers versus Jeff here. This is Jeff at the table. How many ticks left on the queue? Quite a few. I think we just started this the other day. Let me just count how many we got sold. Looks like we've sold 12 tickets on that queue right now. And Grant just got back here with the 50-50s running around the room. It's over $400 right now for the daily 50-50. You gotta get your own fork over there. Kind of queue. It is a Mickelson custom queue. It's bird's eye maple with snakewood and elkhorn in it. Elkhorn joint and butt cap. It's got, I believe, 8 upper and 8 lower points, which are all snakewood in the bird's eye maple. It's stacked leather wrap. After Justin's done here, I can pop up a few pics of it. It's got the butt's ready for an extension. It's got a screw-in extension. Okay, Larry, thanks. We'll oh, Frank played. Yeah, Frank won the cue that Frank won was that Jacoby custom, I believe, with the 2 shafts. He just picked that up the other day. The cue that we are raffling right now is the one that I was just talking about, that Mickelson Custom. But the one that Frank won the tournament with was the Jacoby Custom that we did. Finished off up at that the Bar Box Championships. That'll be the first game for Justin here, guys. 1-0. So the cue that we're doing, we got on right now, is the Mickelson I was just talking about. And that's it there. For 50-50 tickets and that key raffle, both same addresses. If you're in Canada, you can e-transfer to qsportslive@gmail.com. PayPal is paypal.me/qsportslive. Yeah, that Jacoby Custom that he won was worth $2,600 US. It is an awesome cue. And we got a copyright claim on our YouTube account.
Oh yeah.
They don't like the music. Grumpy buggers.
I'm just gonna eat.
I am playing tomorrow nights. I'm not playing the singles. I'm actually on call this week with work, so been called away a couple times already back and forth, so not going to pay my singles entry and have to run away and forfeit. So my team plays tomorrow night, 6 p.m. Grant plays tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. on the stream. Wish my team could play at 7 a.m. I love morning pool. Grant hates it.
Morning pool's no good.
Grant hates it. Facebook used to be bad for it. They're not as bad anymore with getting notifications, but YouTube, their algorithms or whatever it is that pick up on that, on any copyrighted music, is just crazy. And then those streams don't get to stay in the archive. They're not posted. So if you're one of our viewers watching on YouTube at the moment, and it's going to be an exclusive for you, because when it's streams over, that doesn't get posted.
It's the Wi-Fi.
9 down to 1. Yeah, it's a messy table there. Don't think Justin has all of that 5-ball. Or maybe he does the way he's aiming. Nope.
Okay, so now we're following along on YouTube.
Okay, we're actually following along on our YouTube chat now as well. Grant pulled up on his phone, so any of you guys watching on YouTube, you can actually say hi and we'll see you this time.
Everybody's
I didn't see exactly what he did with the cue there, but as long as you're in control of the cue or have your hand on the cue, touching the cue, you can set it down. Grant is actually the head ref for this tournament in SML here.
You gotta clear those.
That's messing that up. As soon as I dropped that, that went. That's all the wide. This is all the shit we're on here too.
No. Okay, we're not following along.
That second ball break kind of tends to tie stuff up. Just like you see there, all the clusters around. Ooh, it's valley, but you can't cheat it that much. High balls aren't all that bad, other than that 13 doesn't really have an easy pocket there. If I were Justin here, I think I'd take that ball to the top left and then come out for this one in the side pocket, but that gets him down to this ball. First 2-5. Well, he's got a tough cut either way he goes here. That 13 to this bottom left corner here, bridging over top of the ball. Or I believe it's that 10 ball to the top left. Where he's looking rail first. The only thing I don't like about putting that 13 in that bottom right going rail off the 7 or whatever there, could be putting that 7 down onto that 15, the bottom of the table there. He's just playing safe. I don't know, didn't hit a rail. And I'm going to put that up for fun just because I know Justin. Oh, having fun with the pictures again. Grant's eating, he's wondering what I'm doing. Yeah, that's tied up there. He's going for all or nothing here. He's he's opened everything for Justin now. Well, PayPal's telling me I have money. And that is from you, Larry. So we'll get you 10 tickets sent to you here right away. Justin with the 2-1 lead. I think Highball is going to be halfway he goes here just because of the way that I believe it's the 4-ball tied up with the 11 there. Top right. There's 2 divisions above these guys as the Masters, so they're not the top shots in the tournament, but they're pretty good. It's the A1 division. The divisions here start at the top in Masters, go to A Open, then A1, A2, A3, B1, B2, and B3 being the bottom. We had the A3 players playing last night. We have the Masters starting tomorrow morning. I haven't seen Jeff play too much, but Justin plays very well. Justin's beat some of the top shots in the city. Justin's dad's a very good shot. Hey, Brian. I think a lot of people think they play better when they're drinking or after a few drinks.
That actually came up on the stream yesterday, too.
What's that?
Somebody feeling good. It may have even been Danny.
No.
So I'm back. I'm joining in now, guys.
We got the other table finally started up. Question, wasn't somebody saying that Phil was single yesterday?
Phil was what?
Single. Now is why he was playing so good?
I have no idea. Didn't hear anything about it. Justin Beavis is actually one of the up-and-comers here in Calgary. His game has improved immensely.
He hasn't played a couple bad shots here, but
yeah,
he definitely prefers the 9-foot table.
And I can confirm it's snowing pretty good outside right now.
Is it?
Yeah.
Well, that means I think after this match I'm going to be on my way.
Yeah. Hello, Brian. How are you? He can still get the out here. If he gets the right angle off this 1 ball and use the 3 ball, break up that 9-4.
He's playing it ahead.
Hey, you bet, Brian. Thanks for tuning in again.
Yeah.
He kind of
A
rushed
little
that.
unlucky. Yeah,
No,
he shot that quick.
Not unlucky. He rushed that. Those are the shots you kind of need to bear down on and just take a little bit of extra time. Be sure of the breakout. Be sure of where everything's going to go. So he'll have to come around a couple of rails.
Yeah.
Very nice.
Slow down.
Ah, he's more than good.
Yeah.
Nice little slow roll up. Caught a little more of the outside of that than he wanted.
Yeah. He's a little frustrated with himself. He tends to play a little quicker then and bang
He does,
balls around. Yeah. That's one thing he's got to practice
Even
a little more,
that's,
getting in check.
Yeah, even that's come a long way.
Yeah. Let's flip over to. Oh, what? Oh.
We'll throw this cue draw that we got going on up. This is for the Mickelson Custom Cue. Selling 68 tickets, $50 per ticket on this one. Has a little bit higher of a retail value. It's $3,400 retail value. So a 1 in 68 chance, or 2 in 68, depending on how many you want to get. So 68 tickets, $50 per ticket on that. If you do want a ticket, you can email transfer qsportslive@gmail.com if you're in Canada. If you're outside of Canada, paypal.me/qsportslive. Once we receive your transfer, we will put your name onto a ticket, take a picture, and send it back. Once those 68 tickets are done, we'll do that draw live as well.
And this is Phil at the table on this table here. Not sure what their score is. We'll have to double check with them after this match.
It is an amazing looking cue. Not only amazing looking, but I love the way it hits. That's the same type of cue I play with. Mine's not quite as expensive as that one though.
No.
Got me beat by 600. And what makes that cue expensive, guys, is the wood. It is snake wood in that. And for those of you that are south of the border, trying to find a snake wood cue, you know that they typically will go between 4,000 and 5,000, not 3,400. And for those that don't know who Bernie Mickelson is, back in his prime, in his day, he was known as the Big Stick. He stands about 6'7", and in his prime, he couldn't get any action anywhere in Canada or the States. He actually had to travel across to Europe. So not only is he a cue maker, but a phenomenal pool player. I just ate. Mr. David Evans, how are you, my good man?
Hey, Dave.
We forgot to put David on the stream. We'll make that correction, David. For those that don't know who David Evans is, he is the owner, founder, creator of the Sure Shot. And if you want my opinion on things, that Sure Shot device should be in the bag of every single person out there that is a lower master level or below that. So from novice right on up to a lower level master player, that's what I consider myself. So with Q Sports Live, you do get 20% discount on that. You can go onto his website, Sure Shot Billiards site, 2 S's there. When you get onto that site, you'll see a link that says Q Sports Live, or CSL Viewer, I think is what it's called. When you click on that, put in CSL Pool, all capital letters. Unless you're in Canada. If you're in Canada, you can get a hold of us and we'll make sure you get one. They are $25. They are one step before you go to the DigiQ. A little more effective in my opinion anyway. Yeah, we're doing well, David. Bernie definitely was a machine back in his prime. He doesn't play a whole lot anymore.
Just gives lessons and makes cues.
He does, yeah. He does give lessons. So if you're in and around the Calgary area, he does give lessons. But an absolute, like Fabian says, an absolute machine back in his prime. Thanks, David. There is the website. Yeah, absolutely, Elliot. No, Steve. Steph's up on the podium. She's helping Kelly for Kelly's last tournament with SML.
Yeah, and
she's seeking other opportunities now, so we wish her all the best.
Steph's taking over things.
Steph is taking over.
Now I really got to watch what I say to her.
Yes. She'll be good at it. So the little kidlets, they're over at their grandparents for the weekend. Steph and I are actually pretty lucky that way. We're very blessed. Steph's parents take our kids almost every weekend, have from the day that Brandon was born, and Brandon is 8 years old. Dylan is 5. So they've been going over to their grandparents' house pretty much from the day they've both been born, every weekend. And really see no issues with Jeff not getting out here. This should be fairly routine.
Gonna try to make it tough on himself,
yeah,
though.
He'll make it a little difficult. Almost on that 50-50. 50-yard line.
If he misses, it's Grant's fault.
No. Wow. That is a comeback and a half in 9-ball. That's a tough thing to do. Yeah, it's a little bit cold out there.
Yes.
Snow is starting to flow.
Oops. Phone's driving me nuts.
So guys, if there is anybody else out there that is interested in the 50-50 pot that we have going on tonight, let me know and I'll give you all the details of it. Pot currently is somewhere over 400. Nice effort on the jump shot from Phil there.
Wish we were getting as many Q emails as I was copyright emails.
I know, right? I don't know what type of algorithms they've got on YouTube, but they do not like the music.
No, that's the saying. It just, they got something like Shazam running, and as soon as it picks something up it recognizes it's sending us copyright infringement emails.
I was just saying that the other day, Steve. We're going to go right from spring to maybe 6 weeks of summer and then right into fall.
If it's staying like this, I'm going to hold off buying that new motor for my boat.
Yeah.
Not going to be able to use it very much.
Yeah. 4 weeks if you're lucky.
And go out and stream some fishing.
Yeah, where is that global warming they keep speaking of?
It's in the southern states somewhere. Starts about Texas.
Yeah. Problem is it just stays down there.
Yeah.
If y'all don't want that global warming down in the States, you could ship that up here to Canada. We'll take it.
Like I had my uncle just come back from one of his places down in Phoenix, and I think he's probably ready to go right back.
I would be. I'd probably go to Phoenix and not leave if I had a place there.
We can go down anytime. He's got 7 houses down there we can go stay in.
In Al Gore's bank, exactly right. And not to get political, but also with that carbon tax.
Yeah. Don't need the ocean, we got the lakes.
Isn't that the truth, eh, Jerry? Nah, we just want the global warming. You guys get to keep Al Gore. Shane, I'll even take the 60. At this point, I'm willing to take anything above 0 that doesn't have any white stuff.
I think tonight they're calling for about what it would be -4 Fahrenheit.
Yeah.
Somewhere in around there.
Yeah.
-15 or 18 or whatever it is Celsius.
And of course, and once again, guys, if you can help us out, share the stream, we would greatly appreciate it. Just click that share button down on the bottom left, invite friends, family, share to your pool groups you're members of. Can't really see any issues with Don not getting out here.
Mm.
Draw on the 11, back for the 9 ball. Oh, whoa. There is my very strong commentator's curse.
Yeah, you're good at that.
It's been really effective over the last few streams.
Last few months.
Yeah.
Know why you lost, Lan? He said you should win that match.
I
It's a
never said.
commentator's curse.
Nope. I'm sure we missed a match in there too.
Oh,
I'm thinking there's a couple
yeah.
that we missed.
Start waving at Phil and give him some sign language.
That's kind of if both players agree to not use the patch, they don't have to use the patch, unless of course they call a ref over. Then I will call it, or any of the other refs that are here. Then I'll call it as a loss of game, regardless of any side deals. Refs must always call the rules. Side deals don't mean anything. So there are no refs for singles here. Refs will only be available in the team matches.
So all the way that
Yeah,
works
you and me both, Shane.
with that, I think they got a spot to sign on their score sheets. Each team can sign saying they don't want to use the patch.
Yep.
But if you happen to call a ref over on an 8-ball shot and not using the patch, that will be a loss. No matter if it's a good shot into that pocket.
Yep.
It is not marked. So, if you really want to cause a war between yourself and the other team.
I have seen it happen.
Yeah.
We were just talking about that before we went live tonight with one of the other gentlemen that watches on here, Warren. That has happened. I have witnessed it where a team agrees to not use the patch. It went down to the 25th game. And the opponent called the ref over after the 8-ball was sunk. And that is how they won their trip to Vegas. Yes, Johnny, I can ref at BCA. Typically when I go down to Vegas, though, I really don't like to ref while I'm there. If I go to Vegas, I want to go and play and not have to worry about reffing. Although I guess if they do need help, if they're short refs, I could jump in. But
Yeah.
typically, if I'm going to take the time to go down to Vegas,
Not to work. To play,
yeah.
Unless they had us down there to stream, then we'd be kind of working. Yeah.
But that's going for work,
Yeah.
right? If I was going just to play in a BCA event or VNEA event, I'm really not interested in reffing. Yeah, pattern racking is.
You know what? You're allowed to move 3 balls in the rack.
Yeah.
But
even then, right? If so, when it comes to pattern racking, to slow play, to any of those type of rules that are applicable, but not necessarily witnessed, any of those you're going to get a warning first, and then we'll kind of keep an eye on it. And if it becomes an issue, then we'll deal with the issue.
Yeah, I know. With the supposed to be a random rack, you throw the balls in. I know a lot of guys put the balls in the order.
Well,
they want,
okay. So here's the topic of discussion: is the term or the phrase pattern racking. Okay, and I get it because I mean Corey Doole is a master at this. He's studied where each ball should go, where they're going to be on the table for the best possible break. But to term that as pattern racking, I rack the same way every time.
Yeah.
Right? So I start at the head ball. I go solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe, all the way down to the bottom. And then the last 2, you have to reverse.
Yeah.
So is that then considered pattern racking?
Yes.
Because they're as random in there as what you can get them.
Yeah.
Right?
But you're racking them in the same pattern
It
every
is
time.
the same pattern every time. So is that by definition pattern racking?
Yes.
Is that what they're talking about?
Yeah, they had at the ref conference, you throw the balls in. The way you're supposed to do it is throw the balls in random, however they go.
Yep.
You're allowed to move 3 balls, which is 8 ball to the middle and a solid and a stripe to the corners. Then it's totally random.
Gotcha.
That's why they say once the balls are in there, although people place them in order like I was saying, but once you throw all the balls in there, rack on it, you're allowed to move 3 to make a legal rack, and that's 8 ball to the center, solid and a stripe to the either corner.
Yeah, and I mean, Ryan's probably correct there, where it doesn't matter where you go, solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe, all the way down. Yeah. I've been doing that and racking that same way for, 15 years.
Yeah.
I've never changed it, and now all of a sudden this whole pattern racking came into play, and I think that it's come more into play in 8 ball, was brought to the forefront in 9 ball, but I think they're starting to recognize it in both disciplines.
And see, over the last year since they went over that, I've just been, if you watch me,
yeah,
I might sort of what you'd call pattern like I used to have them all same spot too.
Yeah.
I might do that 1 out of every 50 breaks now. I normally I throw them all in.
Yeah.
8 ball, sort of just, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Solid stripe in the corner, and it just, I'm having, whether it's mental or not, better success the way they're breaking open and the way they're sitting on the table.
Yeah.
From the way I used to rack all the time. And
yeah.
You get.
See, and I've racked this same way, and I remember back in the rule book, and this is going back some time, but I remember in the rule book that's kind of the way it suggested was solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe, blah, 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 blah. So I did that because of what the rule book said. I haven't changed it. I don't think I've had any table kind of successfully in a row come out the same way with the same outcome. It's just not happened.
No. I just, from my break, the way I used to rack them, almost the same as you.
Yep.
Tend to get stripes tied up somewhere or together on a rail or something. Now I think it's more mental than anything, but
yeah. Okay. So
for myself,
who was really good at pattern racking in Calgary? I think it was Ray Berry. Maybe I'm wrong, and Ray, if I am wrong, I apologize. But it used to be where you would put all of the solid balls at the top of the rack and all of the stripe balls down at the bottom of the rack. Now, to me, that's more pattern racking than me doing it random as solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe. So, again, depending on the definition of terms,
Yeah.
whether you're in BCA, VNEA, APA, CPA, CCS, ACS. There's so many different leagues out there with so many different rules, and it boils down to a matter of interpretation. What is quote-unquote pattern racking?
On a pattern rack, Grant and I break, almost have identical breaks to where we break from.
Yep.
And just for the heck of it, try it, because I've practiced this for pattern racking and playing around. Put all stripes on one side and all solids on the other than that one ball on the bottom.
Yep.
And break the way we break.
Yep.
One of those is going to stay sort of clumped in the middle around that 8 ball.
Yeah.
The rest are wide open, spread
Yeah.
out around.
So
the
okay.
corner, right?
So therein lies my question.
Just because we break from that side. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is something that I will breach and approach with some of the head refs down in Vegas. Is I want a clear definition of terms as far as what is considered pattern racking, because apparently I pattern rack.
And there's one of our off on our tangents, not paying attention to the game again, but
Yeah.
oh well. It's
Well, this is what happens. You go on a
Yeah.
tangent, and I mean, I think everybody on the stream understands that. We get onto a tangent. We're not really paying attention to what's going on the table. Both of these guys are talented enough. We don't really need to kind of tell you what's
explain what
going
they should
on.
do
I
or
mean,
yeah.
you know, you look at Justin's shot here. He's taking the 5 ball into the side to break out the 3 ball. From there, he should be out.
You're cursing him again.
No, he should be out, right? I mean, there's no question here. When you got an open table like this and nothing's touching, everything has a home, you should be out. At his level. At Justin's level. And Steve, I concur, man. I mean, I've been racking that same way forever. And before I would actually make a ruling on pattern racking, I would want a clear definition of terms. What is considered pattern racking?
I played around with a lot of so-called pattern racking on my table at home, where I'd go for 2 hours straight and do nothing but break, rack,
Yeah.
break, rack, break,
Yeah.
rack, not shoot anything in between, just break, break.
I used to
break.
do that at the hideout.
Yeah. And I've done that. You get a friend or two, and same thing. You just have somebody rack the same time, everything
Yep.
for them every time.
Yeah. So I guess, Johnny, there's there's kind of the answer. The answer is there is no answer, because it's going to be very dependent on which rules you're playing under, which league you're playing under, what sanctioning you're under. Is it in-house rules? Are they, you know, I mean, there's so many different rules out there, which is why I think they need to clarify and give a clear definition of what is pattern racking.
Yeah. But as you guys say, you're doing solid stripe, you are putting them in a pattern around that triangle. They were, I know Jeff Pythian talking to him with who's the...
Yeah, but I mean, it's the most random pattern that
Yeah.
you can get.
Yeah.
Right? So, in fact, is that a pattern,
Yes.
or is it just being random?
And it is a pattern, and I went through this with Jeff Pythian, he's the senior head ref for CCS Canada, I believe, which is associated with the ACS, which is
Yeah.
world standardized rules. He's like, yeah, the way you do it, you put all the balls on the table, you can you see how a lot of the snooker refs do, or if you watch the Chinese 8-ball, where they put all the balls on the table, they form that triangle with their hands
I do that,
first,
yep.
and then throw the triangle on top. From there, you're only moving 3 balls, 3 moves, and then that's a random rack. Because the only balls you're moving to make
See,
sure
and I'm going to disagree with that, because if in that randomness you're racking all of the solids on the top and all of the stripes on the bottom, to me that's more pattern racking than random.
you haven't placed them in a pattern. It's sort of they were on the table, you're gathering them together and putting that triangle on top and
Right,
putting them
but
up, whereas
where
you see
I would
people
argue
move.
that point
Yeah.
is, as true as that may be random, the way that they ended up in the rack is in fact a pattern.
Yeah.
And it's a worse pattern than me going solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe the whole way.
Yeah. It's just the way they have their definition of it. And yeah, I mean, ACS, CCS could be different than BCA or APA or TAP or any one of the different leagues.
Yeah. So on the other table, the Justin Beavis table, he's up 4-3. No, that would be from them. They just went for a quick washroom break, so. Yeah, I think you and I are on the same page, Steve, because, I mean, if somebody, so if I'm at the table and I'm racking and I go solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe the whole way down, which is as random gets. You can't have a more random rack than a solid stripe the whole way. And if somebody complains about that and says, okay, well, he's pattern racking, and then I break them all apart, re-rack it, and just by random luck, now all the solids are at the top and all the stripes are at the bottom with the 8 in the middle, and they're going to call that not pattern.
Yeah.
Right? That's why, for me, I would definitely be arguing that point.
And see, the way they're saying it is the way you're placing the ball into the rack. They're saying you can only move 3 is I guess their definition, right?
Sure.
It doesn't matter how you gather them all up, put the rack on top.
Yeah.
Once they're in there, you can only move 3 balls is their definition of random.
I don't like that definition. I'm going to argue that.
Yeah, that's the way I was told for CCS, right?
Yes.
So, yeah. You can argue that with Jeff the Thursday of the CCS when,
yes.
when we're getting
and I'm going to bring it up.
Yeah.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this, guys. I'm telling you.
We get our official certification for CCS, ACS at the Western Canadians for Grant and I. And that's Jeff, the head ref, that's doing that. So I should stream that discussion.
Yes.
That would be fun.
Yes. Because I'm telling you, I'm going to get to the bottom of it.
And knowing Jeff, you'll have just the way he explains. I love the way he explains stuff and goes through stuff. It's fun watching him to argue with people and stuff like that. But
yeah, but I'm not coming from nowhere, right? I'm 15 years of reffing, and I've got my arguments, I think.
Well, and he'll say this is the way world standardized rules has it
right.
defined,
So
right?
if they can make that a world standardized rule, why not change it back to the way that it used to be in standardizing solid stripe, solid stripe, solid stripe, which is the most random rack you can get? Why not standardize it that way?
I'm not the governing body for
no,
the
yeah,
world
I know.
standard. I don't know.
But this is going to be my argument with him, right? Yes. Actually, it was Paul Pache and I that was having this exact discussion. This is probably going back 5 years. 5 years ago, Paul Pache and I it was when this whole pattern racking thing first come out. And him and I are on 100% the same page that way. At that point, it needed a clear definition, and I don't think it really is still a clear definition.
And I think if I remember correctly from what Jeff was saying, he goes, based on the pattern racking, the rack should be a random rack. Random placements of the balls.
But see, now I'm leaving my fate to luck, and I don't want to leave my fate to luck, because as luck would have it, with me not having very good luck, my opponent Hill would randomly rack and have all solids at the top, all the stripes at the bottom, allowing for him to have an advantage by a random rack. And I don't agree with it.
But I mean, you get to.
And Steve, no, I don't think I know Jeff Carter. I'd have to see a face. Names I'm so terrible with, and I apologize to everybody out there. I'm really bad with names.
And I'm probably
faces.
And I'm probably even worse.
Yeah, faces
So,
I'll remember
yeah.
forever and a day, but names just I don't know. Gentlemen. Do we
No.
gentlemen? I don't know.
No.
Okay.
No.
No, we don't have them. But I appreciate the sentiment in calling us gentlemen.
Yeah. That's. I haven't even looked at the draw for anything. So
Yeah.
They're on. It's on paper here. It's not.
It
online
is, yeah.
or-
It's not on
and they're
CompuSport. It's
the
not
big-
on Challenge.
They're on big boards out in the main reception or lobby area for the hall here.
I actually said I was going to do this last night and go take a picture of those draws, but I haven't done that yet. So I will. I will take a picture of all those draws, and we'll put them up on the Q Sports Live
Well,
Facebook
actually,
page.
you know what? I can even put them here tomorrow so we can pull up.
Oh, sure.
Sort of.
That works.
But that's only good for the one round, and then
Or maybe dudes.
yeah.
I love it.
What's with the focus on the camera?
I'm not sure what you're alluding to, David. Well, maybe it's because I mentioned this yesterday that it's not as quite a crisp picture as what it normally is.
It's the lighting in here is, and the table angle, and
I wonder if there's any way we could kind of focus that up a little bit.
I don't know.
We'll play with it, guys. What's the time limit on shots? Again, going to vary between different charters, different leagues, different venues. Typically, you're going to run 45 seconds to a minute, which doesn't seem like a lot of time, but
Well,
it's
if you start
astronomically
timing
amount
your
when you're
time,
at the
yeah.
table.
But there is really no set time. I mean, you can call. What you'd have to do is call a ref over on your opponent. He'd give a warning or watch and give a warning, and then
Well, and trying to enforce it is a challenge, okay? Because there's only so many refs available. It doesn't matter what event you go to, whether it's in Vegas or an SML event like this. There's only so many different refs available, and if the whole room starts slow playing, somebody's got to be there to enforce it. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, right? If you're going to call your opponent on slow play, that ref will sit there for the match, but it applies to both teams.
yeah, he'll start timing you as well.
Denise Belanger, how are you? For those that are not aware, Denise is a pro ladies player.
Yeah, Denise. No, our printer's having issues with her. She had a flood in her basement, so she's behind on the printing of everything.
Yeah, there's a few particular items that we're behind on.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, with the basement flooding
Good,
out
are you?
there, kind of put everybody behind.
Yeah.
And if I'm not mistaken, Denise, you are a newly elected director or something along those lines with the NAPT? I can't remember the official title that she got there. This is taking place at a place called Commonwealth Hall. So it's
It's actually Commonwealth Center is the main thing, but it's a convention center, banquet facility.
yeah, kind of in northeast Calgary, Alberta.
Yep.
Board member, thank you.
Can that board member get a stream in those events?
We're working on it.
Yeah.
I know she is. I don't know if she lost any equipment. She had a cleanup crew coming in to clean all the mess up from her flood.
Yeah, she had a restoration company coming in tonight to do some stuff. She didn't, I don't think it damaged a whole lot, but they had to take the carpet up and move stuff around and do a bunch of stuff. And her whole basement is her sort of print shop.
Amazingly priced, by the way. She's actually one of our advertisers.
Yes.
So she's second from the right. That's the I Love Homemade brand.
Where it says need team apparel.
Yeah, if you need any kind of team shirts, let me tell you, she is the one you want to go to. She does amazing work. Prices are amazing.
Yep.
Very nice. Good luck down there, Denise. And Steve, I'm not sure this comment comes up all the time about real pool players playing on a 12-footer or 9-foot. Snooker. Pool as a discipline is bigger than simply saying be a real pool player, come play on a 12-foot, or come be a real player and play on a 9-foot.
Yeah.
Because there are guys out there that'll say, hey, come be a real pool player and play on a 3.5 by 7. It's a smaller table. Your real estate isn't as big as those other tables, so you've got to be able to manipulate the cue ball and control the rock.
Yeah.
So there's arguments on both sides of that coin. And stick handling is definitely a foul within this event. So it doesn't matter whether you're stick handling left or right. The official ruling is stick handling or a foul would occur with forward stroking motion. In this event for SML, it is any stick handling, left, right. Anything that you move with your cue on the cue ball is going to be considered stick handling. Nice shot there. And that's perfect, Steve. But you can't say come be a real pool player and play on a 12-foot because there's going to be arguments for all disciplines. Whether you're playing on a 3.5 by 7, an 8-foot, a 9-foot, a 12-foot, there's arguments for all of those games. Right, on a 12-foot table, you got a lot of real estate to work with.
Anybody holding a pool cue playing the game of pool is a real pool player.
That's it.
Doesn't matter what level you're at, what
That's
you're
it.
playing on.
Well, and that's exactly why we do this stream, guys, and why we showcase all levels of pool. We're not the ones to say that just because you're not a pro player doesn't mean you're not a real pool player. The people that we're watching right now, guess what? They're real pool players. They have cues. They're on the table. That makes them a real pool player. Yeah, I can't say I've ever played on a 5-foot, man. But I mean, and you know, Steve, don't take it like I'm coming down on you. We get those comments all the time, and I defend it the same way all the time. So it's not that I'm coming down on you, but everybody out there, you know, whether you're playing on a 3.5 by 7, a 9-foot, a 12-foot, snooker, 8-ball, 9-ball, 10-ball, one pocket, every discipline has their own rights, their own feels.
Well, the only way the stick handling foul is going to get called is if the opponent calls a ref over and said, hey, he was stick handling, and the only way the ref then would ask the guy that was shooting, saying, how did you move the ball? And if he says he didn't do it, the ref's not there, hard to do. But if there was teams or somebody sitting around the table, the ref would go and ask them, hey, how did he move the ball? Did he move it back and forth, something with a cue?
Yeah.
Then that's the only way the ref could then call a foul on that.
That's right. As a ref, you are allowed to kind of gather information from spectators and so on and so forth, if required. Absolutely, Steve. 100% on the money. On a smaller table, you have to control the rock.
Hey.
Listening and watching with the headsets. Come on, headsets look fun.
They are fun.
Yeah.
How did you choose the tables?
These are just
Just based on setup.
setup. Yeah, we got all the connections, everything right here. So.
And you're doing a commentary?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, 100%, Denise. I can't say that I've played a lot of 9-ball,
The raffle, we've got 50-50s as well.
but you know, I've shot a little bit on a 9-foot table. Can't say I've really played a lot of snooker. I think I've played maybe 3 games of snooker in my lifetime. But I certainly know enough that each different table has their own unique set of skills that's required in order, in order to kind of maneuver your way around the table. So sorry for kind of going off on that tangent about that. And Steve, again, man, don't take that personally. I'll defend kind of that in the same way, no matter who says what. So don't take it like I'm kind of trying to single you out. Not at all. I'm just a fan of the game, and really, it doesn't matter what the table size is. I'm a fan of the game. Yes, Larry, 100%. And diamond tables are the best. I won't really disagree there, but again, I'm going to be limited. So I've played on diamonds, obviously every kind of valley table, but I haven't played on a race-on table, so I'm not sure how they play. I'd love to play on one. But I mean, by comparison, from a valley table to a diamond, 100% agree. There's actually a couple of different tournaments. Unfortunately, the one that they're having in April will be down at the Forebears. So we are going to see if we can have Steph do some live streaming of that. But we will be in the Forebears in North Dakota during that event for Barrie. There is one that might happen this weekend. So there's a couple of individuals out in BC that also know Barrie extremely well. They're putting on a fundraising tournament for him this weekend. We have offered Q Sports Live if they want to have it live streamed. We've offered up the services that way where they can access the page and stream it through Q Sports Live. It won't be Ryan and I commentating. Quite matter of fact, I don't know if they're going to have any commentating. It depends on what equipment they can get their hands on. But if you do see the stream that comes up from BC this weekend, that's what it is. It is a fundraiser for Calgary's own Barrie Huey.
I'm wondering if Chad got his cue today or not. I haven't heard anything.
Yeah, no doubt. Oh, and I agree, Steve. Even myself, right? I play decently on a 3.5 by 7. To move up to a 9 foot, I mean, it's a different animal. It's just a different table size, a different stroke. Really, it's trying to acclimate to a bigger playing surface. So you're 100% correct there. Yeah, I actually wouldn't mind trying to hit on a Chinese 8-ball table.
I had
Thanks for tuning in, Denise. Appreciate it.
I had a 4x8 Dufferin anniversary, or not Dufferin, Brunswick anniversary table that was from my uncle. That's about 60 years old, and it was 4x8, but it would have the snooker cut pockets, same as that Chinese 8-ball table.
Yeah.
And
so that was Hill. Sorry, Jeff. Jeff just won that, guys. Sorry to cut you off.
Got rid of that thing because, man, is it frustrating.
Oh, I bet. But I'd still like to try it, right?
Yeah.
Same as a race on table.
Yeah.
There was one other one. I can't remember what it was. But, I mean, I'm a fan of the game, guys. I just like it all.
I'd love to play on one of those Star, it's just the Chinese 8-ball tables, the main brand they're using is Star. Same as all the big snooker tables is that Star brand Chinese table for you see Ronnie O'Sullivan and John Higgins and all those top snooker players playing on those Star tables. I'd love to get all heated beds and everything in them for keep everything just.
I'd love to try them.
Yeah.
Right, same as the one that Brian Butler has now up in
supposed to be pretty good
in Top Shots, right?
Yeah.
That's up in Edmonton. Thanks, Gordon. I'm not trying to lie, but I'm not trying to self-promote either. I'm an okay player on a 3.5 by 7 for sure.
Well, guys, I think I'm going to take off. We're not going to have anything coming. I got to be up early for a little bit of work tomorrow before we get here at 9 and start streaming and Grant's playing. So you'll see me more than likely back in the morning unless I get called out somewhere. I am on call for my normal day job this weekend.
Yeah, and even tomorrow, guys. So tomorrow morning, I'm going to be playing on the stream table. So if Ryan's not here, certainly I'll set the stream up. It'll be unmanned, but I'll put that in as a pinned post. And I'll try to do my best for you tomorrow morning.
It depends what comes up here. This might be the end stream of the night here too, because I know Grant should be getting home, getting to bed. I'm going to play Daddy for a minute.
I should be, but I'm not going to.
No. Okay.
No, I'm going to. I am going to shut down the stream, guys, just for 15 minutes until the next match comes. But I will be back. I'll bring it back to you. And the only reason I'm doing it is because of the 50-50 draw. I have to do that at the end of the night,
yes, that's
right? So I'll suffer a little bit in sleep, but I'll be all right for tomorrow.
Not near as bad as our normal stream in a way.
No, God, no.
So, okay, well, thanks, guys. I'll see you all back tomorrow, hopefully. Have a good night. And I think we'll end the stream here too, so Grant can take a break for a minute. We'll be
absolutely.
He'll be back up in Should be in the next 15 minutes.
Yeah,
like the last-
I'll be back here in 10 minutes. As soon as the next match comes on, guys, I'll bring it back up.
I believe they're
For those
scheduled.
that are just new, again, go onto our Facebook page, click the like and follow button. That way, when I come back live, you'll get notified. You can pop back on with us. So I will be right back here, guys. 15 minutes, give or take, and I'll have the stream back up.
All
So
right.
until then, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, good night for me, guys. We'll see you in the morning.